iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Hey, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. So we got a lot to cover here. Did a couple of pieces today on Scout. One is a draft review of this draft I'm going to go over today, right here on this podcast. I'll go over teams' best picks and worst picks. And also, I've got an article coming out, one bold fantasy prediction. You're drafting this weekend? You're drafting next week? You might want to have this. You might want to read this. So if you're not a member of Scout Fantasy, you better become one. Because these bold predictions, you know when the visionary starts thinking, when the visionary comes up with a bunch of ideas, I'm going to be right on a lot of them. You know it. I always am. And I got some crazy ones this year. But I want to get started. Last night's online championship, I did something last night that I almost never do in a PPR draft. I think it's going to get me in trouble. This was probably an unmitigated disaster of a draft, but to be quite honest with you, I did it for a reason. I'm in a lot of online championship leagues this year, and I wanted to test things out. And I think some of the best experts, like Gene McCaffrey is one of the top baseball experts out there. And he plays a lot of leagues when, he does drafts to start out the year, the draft champions leagues. And he says he does a few of them to go and see what different things he can come up with, right? Sometimes he'll take pitching, sometimes hitting, sometimes infield, sometimes outfield. So, yesterday I had the 6th pick, and I really haven't had Melvin Gordon in any league. And I want Melvin Gordon on a team. I think he's going to have a good year, and I want to have some Melvin Gordon. So David Johnson goes 1, Le'Veon Bell goes 2, Antonio Brown 3, no shock, AJ Green 4. Wow. All right. I say to myself, I'm not going to pass on Julio Jones-Roto. I just can't do it. I have taken Beckham recently in drafts, and so when Jones goes 5, I decide to not take the receiver, not take Beckham, not take Evans, but go with Melvin Gordon. Once again, I think if I was in Vegas and I was in the main event, I probably would have taken Evans or Beckham. But here in the online championship, I wanted to try something out. So I take Gordon. Sure enough, Evans goes next and then goes Beckham. That's what's supposed to happen. Nelson, Freeman, McCoy, and Cooks. I'm okay with this, and we'll go through each team. But I'll go through my team first. Round 2, Todd Gurley ends up with me. I can't pass on Todd Gurley. I think about Ezekiel Elliott, but I can't pass on Gurley. I take Gurley. Round 3, I know at this pick, I'm hoping to get Cook or Hunt or McCaffrey or Crowell or one of these guys. I want them to fall to me here. I take Kareem Hunt. So here I am, Gordon, Gurley, Hunt, rounds 1, 2, 3. I never like starting this way. I don't. Because I know I need receivers. I know I need receivers in these leagues. Receivers are so important, I should have taken a receiver. But I don't. I still think Gordon can have 30, 40 receptions. I still think Gurley can have 30, 40 receptions. I think Hunt could have 50 or 60 receptions. That's what I roll with. Round 4, I take Larry Fitzgerald. Okay? I'm okay with Fitzgerald there. I thought about Martavis Bryant. I thought about other people. Terrell Pryor got snatched right before I picked. But I'm okay with Fitzgerald. He's not my ideal guy. But I figure I'm taking a risk with my running backs. Let me have a stable receiver. Round 5 comes. And I know going into round 5, I'm thinking, guys like Diggs. I'm thinking Sammy Watkins. I like Bilal Powell. But lo and behold, Travis Kelce is there. I haven't seen Travis Kelce in the 5th round of any draft. And the guy just before me takes Jimmy Graham. Are you kidding me? How do I pass up Travis Kelce? I can't. I can't pass up Travis Kelce. I take him in round 5. Therein lies the problem. The problem is, when you take a tight end early, as I've said, you create a holy roster, which I have. Round 6, I take Doug Martin because I just think, when he comes back, I really like him. And here we are in round 7. I've got 4 running backs, 1 tight end. And I've got queued up 2 receivers who I want to take. Corey Coleman and Brandon Marshall. And sure enough, they both go. What am I going to do? There's nothing I can do. They both go before I pick. So here I am, and I always say that I have a contingency plan. And I think this is what you guys need to do as well. You need a contingency plan. So, I'm not a Randall Cobb guy. I hate Rashad Matthews. I'm down on Dante Moncrief. I'm okay with Jeremy Maclin, but there wasn't a receiver there that I loved. I thought about Duke Johnson, but I already had 4 running backs. And I can't go Duke or Gillislee. I can't go 5 running backs, can I? So I end up taking Zach Ertz, who in my mind was the best player on the board. Because Zach Ertz should be a PPR monster this year with no Jordan Matthews. So what I'm saying is I went 2 tight ends when I hate doing that. I think I may have just committed fantasy suicide on this team. So in my first 7 picks, I have 4 running backs, 2 tight ends, and 1 receiver. That's a problem. I didn't judge that one correctly. I will most likely lose this league. I will most likely lose this league. I will need the receivers I took in those middle rounds. Robbie Anderson, Kevin White, Jordan Matthews, Sterling Shepard. I'm going to need 2 of those guys, 2 of those 4 to be great. It's not going to happen. It's not. It's not going to happen. And I misjudged it. Maybe I didn't need Doug Martin there. In round 6, I could have taken Terrell Williams. I could have taken Adam Thielen. I thought about taking Corey Coleman and Marshall there as well. I could have done that. That probably would have served me better, right, than taking Martin there. But I looked at Martin as a potential comeback player of the year. I think Martin's going to be terrific. He looks great. But I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to do that. It's a regret I have. All right, let's go through each team here. Team 1, I think, did a pretty good job. Their running backs are David Johnson and Jordan Howard and Joe Mixon. It's pretty good. The receivers are Hill, Watkins, and Tyrell Williams, Hunter Henry. They've got Derrick Henry, Matt Ryan. That's a really good team. Team 1's very good. Excellent job, Team 1. Team 2 has Bell and Riddick and Jamal Williams as their running backs. Not as thrilled, but they have guys like DeAndre Washington and Marlon Mack. They've got Hilton, Thomas, Benjamin Diggs, John Brown. That's beautiful. Russell Wilson. It's a good team. It's a little weak at running back, but it's okay. He can get through it. Team 3 has Bilal Powell, Paul Perkins, CJ Procise. It's got Matt Stafford and Eli Manning. He's got Antonio Brown, Allen, Bryant, Thielen. I'm not a fan of this team. I don't want Brown and Bryant. And if I did do that, I probably want to have Ben Roethlisberger. Let me just go all in on Steelers at that point. So that team to me is a little weak. Team 4, Ezekiel Elliott, who, by the way, what if they drop his appeal, right? And they drop his suspension. It's going to be pretty attractive this year. So he's Elliott, Cook, Anderson, Abdullah, A.J. Green, Parker, Sanders, Britt. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not a bad little team there. Team 5, Fournette, Coleman, Forte. Take the knife out now. Julio Jones, Hopkins, Crabtree, Marshall, Decker, Wallace. That's not bad. He took Jimmy Graham in round 5. I guess that's okay. I didn't love it, but I don't like the running backs there. I hate Matt Forte. Hate. All right, I'm Team 6. And then, so we went through that. Team 7, Murray and McCaffrey, Gore, Burkhead, Foreman. Love it. Pirine. Love it. Sorry, P. Ryan. Love it. Evans, Pryor, Hogan, Lee, Mitchell, Funchess, Aguilar. That's a problem, but But he's got Evans and he's got Pryor. So he's got two really good receivers. I don't like the rest of his receivers. I don't. I mean, Hogan's okay, but Lee and Mitchell and Funchess and Aguilar aren't great. But he's got good running backs. He's got Tom Brady. He's got Tyler Eifert. He's got two good receivers. I think this team will be competitive. That was Team Tonka. Rigo's Rangers. I'm not sure I like this team. Crowell, Miller, West. Ugh. Beckham, Cooper, Cobb, Macklin. He took Aaron Rodgers very early. I think that hurt him. I think that hurt him. Team number 9. Nelson, Bryant, Garcon, Ginn, Marvin Jones, Amendola. That's nice. Montgomery, Lynch, Woodhead, Sproles. That's nice. Kyle Rudolph takes Rivers and Prescott. This was a testament to if you wait on your quarterback, you should be okay. Team 12 did that as well. I kind of like Team 9's team a little bit. I do. Team 10, Freeman Ingram, Stewart White, Baldwin, Jeffrey, Crowder, Matthews, takes Breeze. Not sure I love that team. I don't love Ingram, don't love Stewart. I think there's a lot of guys in who don't have the job to themselves. Not my favorite draft. Team 11, McCoy, Ajayi, Hyde, Gillislee. Not bad. Adams, Tate, Snead, Moncrief. Not bad. He takes Ben Roethlisberger and Cam Newton. Yeah, I worry about that. But, I mean, there's upside there. Not a bad team. Not bad. He took 2 defenses. Can somebody please tell me why you need 2 defenses? Is one going to get hurt? Oh, the Chiefs are hurt this week. I don't get it. That's a waste. 1 defense is all you need. 1, not 2, 1. Some teams didn't even take a defense because they know they can get one in free agency. I get that. That makes sense to me. Team 12 might have had a really good team here. They take Derek Carr in round 11. I like that. So the running backs, they wait. They don't take a running back till round 7. Then it gets Duke, Peterson, Kelly, Kamara, Jonathan Williams. I like that. His receivers are Cooks, Thomas, Robinson, Landry, Deshaun Jackson, Reed. So he's going all in on Cooks, Thomas, Robinson, Landry every week, and Deshaun Jackson. Jordan Reed, so long as he stays healthy. Got Derek Carr, and then he probably goes Duke every week and Peterson. That's not bad. If Kamara becomes the guy, that's awesome. That's awesome. What I might have done differently if I was this team, instead of taking Jonathan Williams, who I do like, I might have taken P. Ryan because he had Rob Kelly. And this way he would have guaranteed himself the running back there. But he takes Perriman later. He takes Ardarius Stewart later. He takes Chris Carson later. Thought that was a good draft. I thought teams 1 and 12 did a really good job. They did. They did a really good job. I was impressed. So, was this a good draft for me? Not particularly. I'm not really thrilled about how I did. I'm being quite honest about that. Most of the time I leave a draft and I'm very comfortable with my team. But I think here, I don't know if I read you the rest of my team. So here's my team as a whole. My quarterbacks are Jameis Winston and Carson Wentz. It's okay. I need Jameis to play well. I like Jameis enough. My running backs are Gordon, Gurley, Hunt, Martin, Vereen, and Tariq Cohen. I think that's very strong. My tight ends are Kelsey and Ertz. My kicker is Tucker and the Cardinals. But my receivers are very weak. Fitzgerald, Anderson, White, Matthews, Sterling Shepard, Chris Conley, Jerron Brown, and Tyler Boyd. I'm going to need an injury. And look, if Fitzgerald gets injured, I have Jerron Brown. That's okay. But I don't know. This is one where I'm always going to be playing from behind all season long. So here's what I say to you. I was able to do this type of draft because I've been in a number of online championship drafts this season. Right? If I look at how many leagues I'm in, online championships, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them. That's why I was able to do one of these. I was able to take a Gordon, to do something different than I normally would do. But if I was in Vegas, I wouldn't do that. So what I say to you is this. One of the reasons why I like doing starter drafts, and I'm doing a starter draft on Saturday night. I am doing a starter draft Saturday night. I'm not sure it's filled yet. Let's see here. Saturday, maybe it did fill. It's possible. Saturday, yeah, I think it did fill. Look at that. I didn't get my draft pick yet. I'd like to see it. But what happens is I use those drafts to help test the waters, right? To help test the waters, to figure out what I want to do and where. I don't normally test waters in a draft that is for a lot of money. I'll do it in a quick draft, right? I'll do it in a starter league for $35. I don't normally do it in a online championship or a main event. I just don't. That's why I like starter drafts, because they give you opportunities to play around with your team. So if you go to play FFWC and you see a $35 starter draft, that's where you should take your risks, not where I did. So I learned a lesson yesterday. If I have to do this over again, I would not do this the same way. I really wouldn't. I would do it differently. I would take the risk tomorrow in tomorrow's best ball draft and not last night. I would have taken Beckham instead of Gordon. I wouldn't have taken Ertz. I wouldn't have taken Doug Martin. But look, we live and we learn. We make mistakes. It's how we rebound from those mistakes is what defines us as a people, right? I'll come back. I'm not happy about what happened, but I will come back and get this right. I promise you. I will win a bunch of those online championships. It may not be this one. And maybe this is an expensive lesson to learn, but I learned it. And I know it won't happen again. So, somebody wrote something interesting in that online championship. He said, I'm always learning something new. I've been doing this for 10 years. I learn something new every year. I believe that too. I believe that too. I play to win in every draft. In last night's draft, I screwed it up. I played to try things out. Shouldn't be doing that in an online championship. Right? You win an online championship, you get $1,500 or an entry into the main event. Right? I want the entry into the main event. Because if I win that, and I win my division, and have the highest points in my league, I get $10,000, baby. And that's going to send the Roto kids to summer camp. And make Mrs. Roto happy. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. If you are listening to this and you haven't been to Las Vegas to one of our drafts, please come out, check it out. We're at the Palms Hotel. We are drafting next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, it's drafting all the time. Great to see old friends. Great to see new friends and make new friends. I'm really looking forward to it this year, and I hope you can join us, okay? So go to Play FFWC, check out the dates, check out the times, and let's get that going on. Hopefully you'll get out to Vegas. Also be part of Scout Fantasy. Go to scoutfantasy.com, enter the promo code ROTO2017. You get half off your first month, and you will learn the tricks of the trade, like the advice I gave you here today. Right? I gave you advice what not to do. I tell you what to do. I tell you what not to do. All right, guys, wishing you a great day. Back on the radio tomorrow, Saturday morning, 7 to 9, Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio. Check it out. Have a great day. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!